Welcome, Leo and Leo cross watchers, to your reading for this week. So I hope you guys are having a great day. And of course, thank you for stopping by my channel. Oops. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, still welcome, of course. So we have the Nine of Wands here. Leo, I'm kind of getting this energy where it's like you may have done something to kind of draw people to you, but it's like there's this barrier between you and this person or people or, whatever, that actually seems to be, it's almost this energy of like you've been in a really tough place and you've come out of it, like you've healed enough that you're ready to kind of, if it's a love reading, like get back out there, you're ready to be open to new experiences, but there still is that element of being, I want to say defensive, but it doesn't actually feel that way. It's almost like you may want to come across as defensive, but it's more like you want to come across as, that's not quite defensive. I'm not grasping the word properly. You know what, I'll just explain it from what I'm seeing on the cards. So it's like these wands, right? If these wands were as tall as you, and please don't get too hung up on the gender, but if these wands were as tall as you, it would feel like you are blocking people out entirely. But because they're actually quite low, it feels more that it's like you are open to new experiences, but God help the person that, like, don't try any shiz because you're going to get kicked right back out, right? So before that came out, I was about to say there are singles reads coming out next week, so please keep an eye out for those if you are so inclined. Get a card for Leo's headspace. I think you really do want a new experience. I'm hearing like, I've been alone long enough. It's been long enough, right? With this Four of Cups reversed here, the Four of Cups upright usually talks about like missed opportunities, or like there's something on offer that you're not seeing. But I feel like it just kind of doubles down on the message from the Nine of Wands here, that, or at least kind of explains the headspace that you're in. It feels like you're looking at it, I mean, let's say, for example, you went through a really bad breakup and you needed time to heal so that, you were ready for the next one. And it's like you are ready for the next one, but it's almost that energy of like, you may be, I want to say you may be concerned that you're getting back out there too early, but it's like, it's almost like you're testing the waters to see if it's too early, if that makes sense. I actually feel like you know that it's not. I feel like you are actually feeling really, really confident. It feels like you're stepping into that Leo, not stepping into, but you're, it's like if you closed yourself away from the world to heal, you're now opening that back up, and it feels like you feel like yourself again, which, like, I've been there, Leo, that it's almost like you may not realize it when you're going through something, but then when you come back to being yourself, oh my God, it's amazing. And I'm just realizing there is a huge mark on my wall. I'll deal with that. Sorry, guys. Anyway, it just feels like it almost feels like there's this energetic something or another. I'm hearing like exalted. And it's almost like you feel that way. And let me be clear. It's not the like, oh, Leo thinks they're better than everybody BS, okay? Because that's not at all. I mean, from my perspective, that's like a misrepresentation of Leo energy. Because from what I've seen, and I know a lot of Leos, okay. Um, Leos want to feel good about themselves, but they want everybody around them that's, I mean, of course, important to them. They want everybody else to feel that good. It's not like they want to feel that good and everybody else can, I can't even think right now. Like, I wanted to say, like, chew grass, but I know that's wrong. It's the like, and everybody else can hit the pavement, hit dirt. I don't know what it is, but like everybody else, nobody cares, right? That's not at all what Leo energy is, and that is not at all what I'm picking up from you. It's more this like you feel that there's something bigger at play. It's almost that energy of like you're about to go home, you take your regular drive home, but then like you feel this urge to take a different turn or take a different path. Um, and in that way, it feels like the path that you're on or the steps that you're taking in life right now are being guided. And in that sense, you're exalted, right? It's not you're putting yourself above anybody. It's more you're feeling guided. And it's like you're taking these tentative steps, like, okay, I'll trust it for now. um, and I feel like the reason you're able to do that isn't because you trust whatever's happening, it's because you trust yourself. It's almost this energy of like you trust yourself enough that like you know what you want, you know what you're willing to accept, and you know dang well what you are not going to accept. And it's like, and there's some hard and fast rules that you have laid out for yourself and what is going to happen in your life and how people are going to treat you. And it's like, and either people can kind of get with the program and treat you well, or they can get the entire F out of your face. I mean, I feel like that might be a little bit stronger than maybe what you're thinking, but it's that energy of like, you're not wasting your time on people that are just looking to siphon your Leo energy. You want people that you can invest in. I mean, and of course everybody does, right? You want people that you can invest in and that invest in you. And maybe everybody wants that, but you're not concerned about everybody. You're concerned about yourself and the people that are important to you and looking for, like, if there are new experiences or new people around you that maybe you can add to your, I want to say repertoire, but that doesn't sound right, that maybe you can add to your group, if that makes sense. So, what is, hold on. Let me recent past here. I'm hearing this like, I remember. Recent past is the Wheel of Fortune. Leo, I'm going to ask you a question. In the recent past, did things start to turn in your favor? And I feel like you're questioning it. You know what I mean? It's almost like if, let's say, for example, you may have gone through a dark night of the soul or an ego death, which is, from what I understand and what I've experienced, incredibly painful and disorienting. And it's almost like, and you may have felt guided in the past to follow certain steps that led you to that ego death or that dark night of the soul. And it's almost like, and you're feeling those kind of guided steps now, and you're looking at the universe like, I remember the last time that this all, I felt these sorts of things, and I remember what happened. You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to make the same mistake twice. And I feel like not that you're making the same mistake twice, but like you do seem to feel like there are certain things that you can kind of move towards, but it's like, it's almost like you were in one of those Indiana Jones type caves where there's booby traps everywhere and you step on the wrong block in the floor and like, I don't know, arrows shoot out or something like that. So it's like you're being really cautious about the movements that you're making, but you're still making them. which in and of itself is indicative of the type of person you are. I was hearing like the fighter you are. So I feel like it's like the signs last time, like you were getting signs before, but there's something different about the signs this time. And it's almost like, and because this is kind of what I'm picking up. It's like because last time when the signs were coming at you, you ran into it, and because it was actually, kind of topsy turvy, and you were expecting something nice, something like beautiful and whatever, and it's like you ended up stepping into this big void. It feels like the speed that you're moving towards this thing, it's almost like you're going to be able to orient yourself before you get there. You know what I mean? So it's almost like even if it is something that is challenging, number one, you're ready for it, I feel. Because it's that fierceness is there. It's, because you're back to feeling like yourself. And number two, because you're moving slowly, you're going to be able to see what's coming, at least from what, like, that's how you're feeling, that you're going to be moving differently this time. So yeah, all of the signs are there, but like it's the epitome of fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that you're in. Like that you're not going to get taken for a ride in the same way a second time. And it's almost this energy of like, if something really challenging is coming your way, you are going to make sure that any opportunity for good or gain, not like, you're going to be taking money from people and all that sort of stuff. I mean, like stealing or anything like that. It's more like in going through a tough time, I feel like you see that there were certain, like looking back on the past, there were certain opportunities that you weren't able to take because you were so disoriented from things turning out the way that they did. And so you're looking at it like, listen, if I'm going to have to go through some shiz, you bet your butt that at the end of that, I'm going to be better off one way or another. And it's those, so it's like in that light, you're not. And this isn't like the cards telling you this or me telling you this. This is the attitude I'm picking up from you. It's like, you are not going to take Leo for a ride and then expect Leo to just like lay back and let life happen. Mm-mm. You're going to take every opportunity that you get to like make those silver linings, even if it is hard, which I'm not seeing that either way. I feel like you don't care to a certain extent. I mean, you care, but you know what I'm saying. And can we get four? Okay. For goodness sake. I'm going to be honest with you. This deck, the cards here are a lot thicker, so it's much thicker. Like the normal deck is like, it's like that for all the cards. So it's very, sometimes it's not the easiest. So we have the Eight of Wands here for what's supporting you, and you're in the Nine of Wands. It feels like if you feel like your light went out, it's been reignited. And you may not have gotten quite to that place, but whatever you went through, it's almost like your energy, your push to move forward and kind of like conquer the day, conquer life. I feel like you're somehow holding that at bay, not because, you don't want to be successful, but more because it's like, that if you rush toward this or that, that it's like, it's almost like there's an energetic response to you rushing forward, that if you move too quickly, sometimes you can't stop that ball from rolling anymore. Sometimes it takes on a life of its own, and it's like, and you're just kind of, all you can really do is watch it keep going, right? So often with the Eight of Wands, it talks about an energy that, about being careful about what you set into motion, because once the Eight of Wands energy gets going, it gets going. And it can be very difficult, if not impossible, to stop. And it's almost like sometimes even in order to stop it, everything has to fall apart. And that's not what anybody wants either, right? Or not what anybody wants. It's like, and that it's like that would cause too much suffering, not just to you, but to the people around you. So I feel like there's this message that it's like you are being really, really careful with your energy. It's almost like it's a bottleneck, but you've got the cork in it, and I feel like you are able to control the flow of energy regardless. And it's like because you've been put through so much shiz in the past that it's like it may feel like a big energetic push when the cork is taken out of the bottle, and like the energy just wants to flow out, but it's you have a really good handle on it, and it just kind of feels like you know how precious your energy is, and it's not like, oh, you have no intention of wasting it. You won't be. That's just not going to happen. And anybody that comes at you really quickly, like, don't. So we have the Six of Pentacles for what's coming up with the Magician and the Knight of Cups at the bottom. So I feel like there's someone, hold on for a sec. It feels like it's someone, it could be a situation, but it feels more like it's a person that is coming in that you're going to see. It's almost like because you were in such a place of suffering and you were putting yourself back together, and you may have had to do it by yourself, or at least with very little support, you're very focused on making sure that you don't waste your energy or overspend it, if you will. And I feel like this person that's coming in is going to make you realize that there's a lot of people, or like a lot more people than you thought, going through the same type of thing. It may not be the exact situation, but it causes the same effect in that person. So it's like there seems to be this wisdom that you get from the situation, almost realizing that like your energy isn't finite. I mean, and like, of course, energy throughout the day is, right? But it's from an energetic perspective, right? It's almost like because you're more than you realize, or like your energy, your soul is bigger than you realize. There's more backing you than you realize. That if you're in something where it's like, okay, there's an equal exchange of energy, and then that stops and you've overspent your energy, it's almost like if you put the cork on the bottle, it just fills back up. I hope that makes sense. And I think you're going to, it's almost like you're kind of getting this bird's eye view of people, or someone specifically that has gone through a similar situation, and seeing how they are not stingy with their energy, but just seeing the effect that challenge in their life had on them. And I feel like you're able to see certain things in this person's behavior that you end up wanting to evaluate in yourself. It's almost like you're able to sit there and observe people and see certain things in yourself that you didn't realize that you were doing. Hold on. And you're still cautious about, spreading your energy everywhere and all that sort of stuff, but it's a different kind of cautious. it's a cautious, you may not even be in contact with people more than you were before you realized this. But there's something different about it. It's like if you're in an energetic exchange with somebody and you kind of end up being the last person to extend energy their way, it's like you may not let that person back in, but there isn't any resentment there because they can't take something from you. Hold on. They can't take it from you because it's bigger. I almost want to say like it's not from you, but it is, right? They can't take something from you or somehow like, bamboozle you into emptying yourself when you're infinite. So, I think I'll leave it there, Leo. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. If you like what I do, please like, comment, subscribe. It really does help to keep the channel going. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.